Now, in recent times, political analysts have observed political patterns inside the ruling party, which even the ANC has not disputed. The youth movement within the ANC is virtually dead. This happens after its affiliates like the Congress of South African Students, COSAS, in the past produced firebrand youth leaders for the ANC and the ANC Youth League like Lulu Johnson and, of course, Julius Malema. Now, is COSAS still the breeding ground for leadership in the ANC? I'm now joined by one of the former COSAS leaders, Mahlomola Kekana, who joins me in studio. So, welcome to the studio. What has happened to your COSAS, which was providing leadership not only to SASCO but also to the Youth League and eventually the ANC?
Well, I belonged to a COSAS, and I went to COSAS. I was 13. I was 13 years old. It was in 1985. I went to COSAS. I was just a little boy of 13, determined to free our education system.
Yeah.
But when we arrived at COSAS, we were introduced to the Freedom Charter, and as a base document, the doors of learning and culture shall be opened for all, you know. But you must remember now, in 1979, on the 31st of May, at Welgespreid, when COSAS was founded,
yes,
one of the basic and simple decisions taken there was adopt the Freedom Charter, demand the immediate release of Nelson Mandela, demand the return of political exiles led by Oliver Tambo at that time.
Yes.
So in essence, the COSAS birth was also, now remember, a few weeks before the birth of COSAS, on the 6th of April, they had just hanged Solomon Kalushi Mahlangu. And the young people then were determined to free South Africa.
Correct.
And make sure that South Africa is liberated. So the COSAS of today and COSAS of yesterday cannot be expected to be the same. However, it continues to be a breathing ground for the African National Congress. It continues to be a preparatory school for the ANC.
Then it means you have failed, because currently you virtually have no ANC Youth League. Well, it is there, it exists, but it is not functional.
Well, there are many factors. You know, there are many factors. Factional politics, one of them that are actually killing that. Good comrades that are supposed to be affirmed are sidelined. Quite a number of them are pushed because they belong to certain faction. But I still believe that the COSAS, it continues to be a breathing ground for the ANC. Let me give you an example, my brother. Currently, the ANC is going to conferences.
Yes. And
people that are earmarked for leadership, let me single out Gauteng because I'm in Gauteng. The current contenders for leadership position in the upcoming Gauteng conference, Pakstau, the former COSAS leader.
Yes.
Banyaza Lissufi,
yeah.
Banyaza Lissufi, a former COSAS leader. Lebogang Maile, a former COSAS president. So when you look at that, you still look back and say, we haven't failed, like you said just now. Our generation has continued to produce 50% of parliament currently.
Yes.
Even including some in the opposition benches are from COSAS. So our COSAS generation was informed by political education and quite a number of strategic objectives that were put in place. I think what we need to do, look man, it's not bad. In Ekurhuleni, for an example, I'll single out one young man who has just been appointed a convener of the task team to rebuild the Youth League, Colin Malachi.
Yes.
He's a former president of COSAS. He's from the current generation. You know, SASCO had conference in Gauteng a few days ago. A current deputy president of COSAS, a young lady by the name of Olutando,
yes,
was elected into the provincial executive committee of SASCO. She's from COSAS.
Okay.
You know, and SASCO past presidents, Dr. Bandile Masuku,
Yes.
from COSAS. You know, so I will not agree with you that we have failed. We have presented COSAS as an instrument. What is important is the current leaders of the ANC must do like those who were in the UDF. They allowed ourselves to be autonomous. COSAS must remain an autonomous student organization, not being dictated to by the leaders of the ANC. We were not dictated to. Leaders of the ANC never told us. We took serious orders only that were coming from Lusaka directly.
Yeah.
Because Oliver Tambo will give a direction. In 1985, he said this. In 1986, render the country ungovernable, make apartheid laws unworkable. Now, the current leadership of the ANC as led by President Ramaphosa must define. Our generation was defined by Oliver Tambo as the roaring young lions.
Yes.
The current young people are not young lions.
Yeah, well, they
must define themselves. They must define the current generation must define themselves, or the leadership must define them. So, and the objectives were different.
Now, what are you saying, though, Mahlomola? Are you denying that currently the ANC's youth wing is not as effective as it was in the past?
I will not deny that, because where I live, in Tadi, in Muletsani, it's a ward 21 in Soweto, there is no branch of the ANC Youth League. You know, and let me tell you what happened to me personally. In 1990, I was 18 years old.
Yeah.
But at 18, I was already a branch treasurer of the ANC at the launch, when the ANC was unbanned.
Yes.
In August 1990, and I was just 18. I was elected a branch treasurer of the ANC. By 1994, I was already one of senior activists of the ANC in Johannesburg.
So what should happen right now? How should this ANC that you're talking about, how should it infuse this youthful blood, or the young blood?
Take kids out of factions. Take kids out of factions. Give them political education. Politicize them. Don't give them money. The ANC, there's money running around, and these kids are exposed to money at tender age. I'll tell you, my generation, I used to travel from Tadi in Soweto to a school called Kiani, next to Paraguanath. And we walked to a COSAS meeting. And we managed to do that. But maybe the terrain has changed.
Yeah.
The scenario is different.
Correct.
But if we really are serious, let me quote Date Moses Kotane. Then he said to the young people, at this hour of destiny, your country and your people needs you. The future of South Africa is in your hands, and it will be what you make of it. Close quote. I'm saying to the youth in our ranks, whether it's COSAS, whether it's SASCO, the Young Communist League, then the ANC Youth League itself. Here is a call. The future of South Africa and the future of the African National Congress, it's in their hands. It will be what they make of it. And the only way is to go back to basics. Political education, political education, political education.
Mahlomola Kekana, thank you very much for your time, and we really appreciate it. I'm sure we'll make more time to get to talk about some of these issues.
Really appreciate it.